And I'm wanting my friends to see this because we're all gonna make Khajiit stand blades. So I use it for PvP, and I kind of switch up the skills a bit for PvE. But I got the PvP stuff on right now. So you can run any potion you want, but it would be best to run a stamina, weapon power, weapon crit pot if you can get those tri-stats into a potion. But let's get into the sets. Peanut's standing right there. Okay, what I use is a sharpened weapon damage enchantment, great sword of Hunding's Rage. Use a sword for the passive and your two-handed, because if you go to your two-handed and you look at your passive, it's called heavy weapons. Swords increase your damage done by 5%. Axes grant 60% chance to apply bleed. Swords will give you the most damage you can get out of the gank. So I use a Clever Alchemist bow, weapon damage enchantment, sharpened as well. My shoulder piece, you can run 2 Ps of Valadrith, but you'll be lacking on, all you need really is a 2 Ps Hundings, but you can run more if you would like to. I'm going to be running 4, because Valadrith is going to get nerfed anyways. I guarantee you it hits way too hard for it to not get nerfed. So, and there's really no point in farming it out, concluding that it's hard as shit to get, unless you can get it on the gold, and then you're lucky. But Helmet of Hunding's Rage Divines should be Stamina Enchantment. Clever Alchemist Jack, Stamina Enchantment, Divines. That'll be Hunding's Rage Arm Cops, yeah. Medium armor. It's all gonna be medium armor. Maximus Stamina Enchantment, and you're gonna want Divines on it. You're gonna want Clever Alchemist Belt, Divines, Max Stamina Enchantment. You're gonna want Bracers of Hunding's Rage, Divines, Max Stamina Enchantment. Clever Alchemist Guards, Divines, Max Stamina Enchantment, and Clever Alchemist Boots, Divines, Max Stamina Enchantment. Now, that's going to give you, when you have your sword out, you're going to get a 4-piece of Clever Alchemist, which will give you weapon damage, health, and that's basically it. And on the Hundings with your sword out, you should get a 4-piece, so you'll have a really, really, really high crit. I do not have a 4-piece right now, and my crit is seriously 70.8, and that's unbuffed. Buffed up, I'm pretty sure it goes up, especially while in stealth. So let's check my sword crit. 73.8. It went up 3%. And the resistances are kind of low. I can't duel Peanut because it's lagging, because I can't duel on streams. They lag really bad unless I turn off the wireless connection. The weapon damage, as you can see, is almost 4K. Really, really close. You could get it there if you put more champion points into Mighty, and I'm thinking about putting more champion points into Mighty. But you run the Thief Stone as your Mundus. You're going to want to get everything legendary or at least epic to start out with. But on my jewelry, I do weapon damage enchantments, all healthy for the extra health. And they are Drake King Slayer. You get that in Fungal Grotto 1 or 2. You can run Vet or Normal, your choice. Fungal Grotto 1's really easy to solo. If you have a DK or a Templar, you should be able to run through it. Or a Sorcerer. You probably can't do it with a Nightblade, but you could do it on a DK, a Templar, or a Sorcerer if you can put out enough damage and stay alive. All weapon damage enchantments on this. It's all Drake King Slayer. So 3 Drake King, 4 Hundings, and 5 Alchemist. And you can run any potions, really. You can run Tri-Foods, you can run Magic, Stamina Foods, you can run Stamina and Magic, you can run Magic and Health, whatever you want in the foods. I wouldn't run Recovery Drinks, I would run foods. But then into the skills, we're going to do the two-handed bar. You're going to want Camouflage Hunter, which is a morph of Expert Hunter in the Fighters Guild. It's right here. So it's very easy to get. All you got to do is go do a bunch of dolmens, and you will get your Fighters Guild up like very, very crazy. Now, I use Flawless Dawnbreaker, but you don't use the ultimate unless you're doing PvE. I don't use it in PvP at all, because it doesn't do nothing to the person. It's totally irrelevant for ganking. You don't need it, but just for having it slotted and morphed to Flawless Dawnbreaker, it increases your damage while you have it slotted by 5%. So that means your uppercut, or your wrecking blow in this case, is going to have way more damage. So the second skill we're running is Executioner. So anybody that goes below 50% of health will take a whole lot more damage from this. So you're going to do a heavy attack, you're going to teleport strike, do a heavy attack with your bow, teleport strike, and then hit your ultimate, which is going to be Incapacitating Strike. Then you're going to swap bars over to your two-handed. You're going to spam Executioner if they're still alive. Sometimes they will be, sometimes they won't. Sometimes the heavy attack will kill them. Sometimes the heavy attack and the teleport strike put together will kill them. Sometimes the end cap will finish them. If none of those finish, Executioner's your baby. You could also run Killer's Blade if you want to run a Nightblade ability. It's a little bit slower, but it will heal you when the effect ends. I don't like to run it, but you guys could if you wanted to. So on your circle, I run Relentless Focus, which is the last ability in Assassination. You're going to want all your class passives, by the way. You don't want to do much siphoning. I have this, and I have this for no reason. You don't even need this. But siphoning strikes, you're going to want to morph to siphoning attacks. That's just for PvE. But right here, you want Relentless Focus because it will increase your your stamina recovery and your damage by 8% for 20 seconds. And you can also get a Spectral Bow, like every now and then. While active, hitting an enemy with 4 light or heavy attacks changes this ability into Assassin's Scourge. So if you want to go in there, swing 4 light attacks, then you will get a bow and you can shoot it, and it will deal 16,431 disease damage on impact. On L1, I run Rally. You can heal with this. It's basically, if you don't know how the heal works, it took me a while to figure it out. It lasts for 30 seconds because when you use it, you can check your character, Rally, 30 seconds right there. So when you use it, see, it healed me. But the best way to do it is use it and wait 15 seconds and then use it again, and it'll heal you for full health. The longer it stays on, right before it goes off, you use it the second time, and then it'll heal you. Like, I use it, and then boom, gives me health. So you also gain Minor Savagery while using it, and Berserk, and Brutality, and you get the heal. So it's basically the best ability you got with your two-handed. But before any battle, you're going to want to do Relentless Focus first, Rally second, swap Radiant, swap that, drink a potion, heavy attack, teleport strike, end cap, and then swap and spam Execution. But like I said, Dawnbreaker will be nothing. Like, you don't even need it. Unless you're fighting, like, in Imperial City and you just want to finish a group of Daedra or some shit. But on R1, we're running Wrecking Blow for that extra damage. You could run Dizzying Swing if you wanted to. Like, we're going to get Peanut, really. We're going to get Peanut to run Dizzying Swing so he can have CC, and me and Flex and Smooth can have the extra damage. So 42k health, pow, one hit. It's really, really powerful. You can do that to PvP, or you can do the main gank that people like to do, which is the heavy attack from the start, and then the teleport strike right after. See if this guy wants to duel. If he does, then we'll duel him, and we'll see how we do. I don't think he wants to. He's probably going to decline it. But we'll go right back into our skills real quick. And yeah, that's the two-handed. And then on the bow, we run Shadowy Disguise for that crit. So if you do want to crit and your crit's not high, for example, you're not a Khajiit in this situation, you're going to need more crit. You can do a snipe, and then you can cloak right afterwards. And after your snipe and then you cloak, it's going to guarantee a crit with Shadowy Disguise is your morph. So you're going to get that crit. And why I use Mage Light, I'll get into that here in a little bit. Some of you may be wondering why I use Mage Light. But on your snipe, you're going to want to morph it to Lethal Arrow for that poison damage so they can't heal. So instead of doing the heavy attack teleport strike, sometimes if they have a little more health or they're a Templar, you could do the Lethal Arrow and then light attack right afterwards and then teleport strike, and you'll meet with them all at once. Or if you want even more poison effect, which will be good in this build, you don't want to run much poison other than these arrows though, so you could do Lethal Arrow, Poison Injection, Teleport Strike. So on our Teleport Strike morph, we have Ambush, we have Lethal Arrow on the snipe. Poison Injection is a Venom Arrow morph, I'm pretty sure. And Radiant Mage Light is in Mage's Guild. It's a morph of Mage Light. Now, you can use this while you're ganking. If another Nightblade sees you and he stealths up, you can pop this if you think he's near. But while slotted, you gain Major Prophecy, increasing your spell critical rating, which you don't need spell crit because you use nothing but weapons. You also prevent the stun and reduce the damage from stealth attacks by 50% for you and nearby allies. That's a good passive, but you don't really need it because you're going to be the one in stealth. What you need is all these passives other than Persuasive Will, unless you do a lot of PvE and you need to persuade people. But this is your main. Might of the Guild. Casting a Mage's Guild ability has a 50% chance, that's 1 out of 2. 2 out of 2 will be 100 of granting you Empower, increasing the damage of your next direct damage attack by 20% for 5 seconds. So I pop this, within 5 seconds my next attack will be really, really hard hitting. So yeah, like the video Peanut says. So, and then I run end cap. Now my end cap, I'm not an end cap finisher build, so it's basically, it either kills you or it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't, but the Valadreth procs harder disease damage than this, but it will stun them, and it'll give you the chance to, after you hit the end cap, you hit it, and then you swap and you spam execution. You'll get it good. So you're going to want buff, 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 drink a potion, heavy attack, teleport strike, and then you're good. See, that heavy attack did a shit ton of damage. But, yeah. Now, let's get right into the champion points. Now, some of you may look at this and be like, why the hell do you have 100 into Be Foul? But, yeah, I do have 100 into Be Foul. Increases the effectiveness of healing reduction abilities by 33%. I use that just for the poison arrows, and all these cancerous Templars like to try to spam Breath of Life. It don't work if you run this. You'll be able to fuck them up really easy. It doesn't work at all. 10 into Tumbling, so you can break free and roll when people like to fucking try to crit rush you or just snipe you or some shit, where you're rolling at a siege AoEs. Mooncalf increases your stamina recovery. We all know Khajiits are horrible at keeping their stamina up, so this is very vital. But you can put more into it and take away these tumbling points, because if you have good recovery, then rolling, you should get your stamina back pretty quick. But I run 30 into it, and then I run 60 into Warlord. I just think it's a good way to run this in the stamina tree anyway. And on here, now I'm thinking about fixing this up a little bit better. I'm actually probably going to do it right now. I'm going to put instead 30 into Thaumaturge, 100 into Mighty, 30 into Piercing, and 40 into Precise Strikes. So the Thaumaturge will do good with the poison arrows. It'll increase the damage of your poison arrows, such as Lethal Arrow and Poison Injection. The Precise Strikes will be the most damage on your crit. So 40 is a really, really good substantial area to put that in. Now Piercing is basically where all the PvP is at, because it's all about penetration. Any penetration in PvP is great, whether it be spell or physical. So running 18-15 into your physical penetration will be just enough. 100 into Mighty will increase physical, poison, and disease damage. So that will increase all your attacks and the extra disease damage and poison damage you get from the lethal and poison injection. Now here I run 42 in resistant. Now I'm not really good at surviving, so if you do get hit, you might want to run and cloak, because he is a ganker. He's not a 1vxer or anything, although you can 1vx, but you kind of got to spread out your enemies. You got to be very smart with this build. So 42 in resistant, 25 into thick skin. You really don't even need thick skin. If you want to run more into elemental defender or hardy, go right ahead. I use thick skin at the moment because I'm experimenting with Vet Maelstrom, and thick skin is vital for that. I will be going into champion points for that in another video, but I run 55 into hardy, reduces poison, disease, and physical damage dealt to you by 16.7. An elemental defender for all these sorcerers that like to run any type of staff, or any character that runs any type of staff and hits hard as shit. And yeah, the magic damage reduction will be great for the magic and Nightblades. You'll shred them on a daily basis. I don't run any over here, so that's my champion point setup. I'm a 600 now. I just hit 600 not too long ago. You can see my description. I only got 31,000 experience over 600. So here's my stats on my bow. I got 2,408 weapon damage unbuffed out of stealth with a 67.8 crit, and my resistances are kind of low, and so are my recovery, but my max stamina is substantial. I can handle it. My max health is great for a Nightblade, and my max magic is good enough to cloak a couple times and get away from people if you time your cloaks just right. You can use it and get away from people. It's just enough. So yeah. So when you're buffed up, you're gonna look like this, and remember that it doesn't add the extra damage that this will give you because it's a chance. It doesn't add chances to your stats, and it won't add your alchemist proc for some reason. Because if I look, I don't think it will anyways. 2408, I drank this. Yeah, it did add it that time. I never knew that it would add that. Oh, because it only procs on the bow. Never mind, I've been looking at the... Okay, 3,401. Buff up a little bit with the alchemist proc. So it would be... My potion went off. That was a fail. Wait for my potion to load up again. But since I don't get an alchemist proc on this bar, we'll do this one. This. Swap over. I get 3,961 weapon damage on my first hit, and then the second hit is supposed to hit 2 times harder than your first hit. So if your first hit is hitting this hard, with Wrecking Blow, it specifically says your next direct attack will deal twice as much damage. So it's basically going to duplicate that. With that crit being that high, 73.8, you're probably going to crit hard, really hard. So I like to run Wrecking Blow just for this reason. Grants you empower for 5 seconds after using your first swing. After you swing your first time, the next 5 seconds, your swings are going to increase the damage of your next attack by 20% for 5 seconds. So 3,443 unbuffed and 70.8% crit unbuffed. Now, once again, with the alchemist proc on this bar, we didn't get to see it. It will be 3,958 with 70.8% weapon crit on a bow. Now that's really good. Now I like, see, look at that. With the alchemist, 4,937 4,937 you will hit while your alchemist is procced on your two-handed on your very first hit, and it will duplicate that, so your next hit will hit for 10k. You're gonna destroy whoever the fuck's in front of you if you just sneak up on them and uppercut them. They're done. It's hard as fuck. That hits really hard, but you gotta think, for your alchemist to proc, you gotta proc it on your bow, because you're not getting the 5-piece on your sword, you're getting it on your bow. If you want to, you could run just the 3-piece Hundings, which is what I'm thinking about doing at this point. I'm thinking about running a 3-piece Hundings. Like when I swap over, it's gonna hit 3, and then replacing my arm piece, my Valadreth arm piece, with Alchemist, so I will get a 5 Alchemist at all times. I will get it at all times, and then I can swap my bow to something else. I can make my bow something else, which I don't think I'm gonna want to. I could make it Hundings, but I don't think I want to, because like I put a lot of fucking work into that bow. If I can put a coot on the bitch, it's sharpened, it's not legendary at least. I can put another coot on it, it's not expensive. I'll make another bow. I'll make a Hundings Rage bow so I can get another, and keep the 2-piece Hundings on this, and have a 5-piece Alchemist. So, you could run Hundings Helmet, Alchemist Jack, Alchemist Shoulder, Alchemist Belt, Hundings Gloves, Alchemist Guards, Alchemist Boots, and then Drake King Jewelry, and you will have your proc at all times. You'll have your Alchemist proc for the first 5 seconds after drinking a potion, because it won't proc unless you use it on your bow, like this. Proc, swap over, check your weapon damage. 4,937 with a 73.8% chance. That's going to hit hard. So, if you guys want to see how hard it hits, and this was, I didn't have this exact setup on this video, but it was a good gank compilation. I'm going to be doing part 2, and it will be the complete build. I will have the Hundings bow, and I will have the Alchemist shoulders in the next video I do, in the next gank compilation. So check out my gank compilation. Just scroll through my videos. It's within the 10 recent videos. Some of them were streams. It'll say Nightblade gank compilation, and there's peanut teabagging. So hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Hope this build helps you out a whole lot. You can do this on a Wood Elf as well, but like I said, your crit's not going to be as high. But if you want to join my guild that I just started, and you want to do this build with me, and you want to demonstrate, okay. He wants me to stay still. Okay. He's in PvP. You can buff up if you want to. Okay. He's in PvP. He's a player. He's there. I'm going to proc my Alchemist right here. I'm going to go pow. And then the next one's going to hit harder. You can do the combo if you want for the gank, which the gank combo is... Can you heal yourself? Okay. The gank combo would be... Here, let my potion go up. I'm going to take it a bit for that potion to go up. I got 27 seconds, I think. I gotta wait a bit. You could run flanking, but I wouldn't recommend it. Unless, like, you could have a friend run flanking if you wanted to. But, yeah. We got our potion back. We're gonna buff up. Gonna drink our potion. We're gonna do our heavy attack, the combo, and then hit, and then execute. There's multiple combinations you can run with this, and he is a DK. He is a DK. He's kind of squishy though. He's not finished, but yeah. They literally just came up like right in the middle of the screen. I was looking right at it. That was trolly as fuck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if it helped you, if you enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one.